that's shown of great attention. She's poetry in motion, a beautiful sight to see. I get so excited viewing her anatomy. She's real, she's stacked, got all the curves a man like. She's real, she's stacked, got all the curves a man like. Look at her, she's a bad mamma jamma, just as fine as she can be. Hey, she's a bad mamma jamma, oh, just as fine as she can be. Looks like she's born into the grown she bad. The essence of beauty, ooh, such a lovely hair. She's boxy classy, oh, sexy sassy. She's heavenly, a treat for the eye to see. She's real, she's stacked, got all the curves a man like. Ow. She's real, she's stacked, got all the curves a man like. Ooh-wee, she's a bad mamma jamma. Ooh, she's bad, she's as fine as she can be. Hey, she's a bad mamma jamma, just as fine as she can be. She's stacked, all the curves a man like. Hot-body investments are perfect in every dimension. She's got a figure that's shown a bit of attention. She's poetry in motion, beautiful sight to see. I get so excited viewing her anatomy. She's real, she's stacked, got all the curves a man like. She's real, she's stacked, got all the curves a man like. Look at her, she's a bad just as fine as she can. She's a bad just as fine as she can. She's a bad just as fine as she can be. She's a bad just as fine as she can be. She's a bad just as fine as she can be.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuning into the very best. It's yours truly, Jazzy Fizzle, Fizzle, Fizzle. And this is In-State Radio, man. Tune in, baby. Oh, boy.
Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Regina Sunshine, coming to you for what is always a beautiful day for me here in Atlanta, Georgia, with the Regina Sunshine Show, here every Monday from 12 noon to 2 p.m., bringing you my version of midday motivation and helping you get a Regina Sunshine state of mind. And I'm so excited. This is the first official Regina Sunshine show, right, Jack Trey, in over a month. I took the month of June off after we did the Young Boss show at the Capitol, and it's good to be back. I'm kind of trying to get back into that routine, Jack Trey, doing my notes and bios and sending you stuff, but you forgive me, right, for being late and slow in one time. Well, today is going to be an awesome show. This is one of my, I guess you would call it, people you need to know shows. 3 amazing guests. They're going to be here with us. But on top of that, if you don't recognize the young man to my left, he was one of our featured honorees at our Young Boss show at the state capitol this year. Welcome back to the show, Elias Reta.
It feels good to be welcome.
How are you doing?
I'm blessed, highly favored. How are you?
The same. It's an awesome day. I had a challenging couple days, but I was reminded of how blessed I am in spite of. So it's a good day to be here. So before we get started, I do want to mention the guest for today. We're going to mention something we're thankful for. So I'll give you the opportunity to talk about something you're thankful for. Then we'll take a break and we'll come back and get going. But our guest today, we have Miss Brandy Hunt here from South Carolina. If y'all don't know, I lived in Greenwood, South Carolina for 17 years. So anytime someone is in the building from South Carolina, it's like family coming to Atlanta. So it's always a blessing to see South Carolina tags in the city. It really is. Also, we have Dr. Karen Hypolite, STEM professional, inventor. She's a chemistry professor out at Kennesaw State. Amazing woman. And she has been on the show before, but she's got some new things going on, and she wants to come back and talk to you guys about this new STEM event that she's doing. If you know anything about her, she makes STEM exciting. The kids love to see her coming. So I'm excited she's going to be here. And then one of my personal favorites, and if you've never met him or heard him or know his name, you will today. The king of this city, King Malachi, former member of the Dungeon family, one of the dopest performers in this city, will be here in just a little while. And I always like to remind people how I saw him or met him for the first time. When I first moved to Atlanta, I was looking for open mic spots to go to. And people were saying, go to Urban Grind, go to the Apache, these different places. And I went to the Apache on a Sunday night. And he hit the stage and he started singing, and everybody knew the words to the song but me. And I was like, who is this? But I quickly found out who he was, and that when you mention his name in this city in terms of entertainment, people take a pause and they have respect. So it's good that the brother's going to be here in a little bit and talk to us about his new music. He was also in the movie All Eyes on Me, the Tupac Shakur story. So he's going to talk about that role as well. So it's going to be a great day. Awesome. All right. So we're going to take a quick break after we talk about what we're thankful for. And I have to say, today I'm thankful for second chances and third chances and just the opportunities to get it right, because we mess up, and it's such a blessing that we have a God that forgives us and loves us in spite of us, and that he doesn't treat us like we treat each other. I have to say that. And I'm reminded today that we have to be as forgiving of others as he is to us, as willing to change when we see those changes we need to make, and love each other unconditionally. And I say that because I had a situation this weekend where some of my faults were brought to the surface. Y'all know what I mean? Where you see yourself real clear. And the person that I was exposed to was not willing to forgive me. And I said, thank God that he loves us in spite of us. And that reminded me that I need to be more forgiving, and I need to be more open and unconditional in my loving. So I'm thankful for extra chances. Elias?
I'm thankful for family at the moment. I have my cousin in town with me visiting, and I'm just thankful, that I have a family that really loves me.
That's what's up.
Because, not everybody can say that, and that's a blessing that I am able to say that I have a family that really cares about me.
I can say the same thing, and it's one of those things that you hear people making jokes about going home for Thanksgiving and it's going to be or whatever. And I'm one of those people, we can't wait to get in the same house together. We can't wait to all of us, as my mama says, all the biddies are in the coop. Family has always been a safe space for me. So I understand exactly what you mean. I have that type of love and support as well. And shout out to Elias's mom, always in the background supporting. Anytime you see amazing young people out here doing great work, there's somebody supporting them behind the scenes. So thank you for all you do. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to make a couple of announcements, and we're going to let you guys get reacquainted with Elias Reta and some of the things that he's working on. You're live on the air with Regina Sunshine here on the Regina Sunshine Show on Instinct Radio.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
She ain't have an idea, but them boys had a motive. Word around town is that they loyal and they soldiers. Do anything for the bread and ride till it's over. Now they got this girl involved with a crime they could've told her. The irony of the story, they supposed to be in love. This girl got kids, but his focus isn't her. She facing 30 years, it ain't open to be discussed. Reality really hit when them cops open the cuffs. When she heard them cell doors open up and slam shut. What's playing through her mind is how he get me jammed up. He ain't a real man, cause if he was, he'd stand up. She was labeled the mastermind of the robbery planned up. It had been a long day, the night was coming to a close. She was the shift leader responsible for the store. He ran off in the back and she was counting up the drawer. Put the money in the bag and put your body on the floor for the ride. Life's too precious, he had to be desperate for a woman he slept with. He got her arrested, he never confessed, but I imagine he dealt with a lot of regrets for what he did to Precious. Life's too precious, he had to be desperate for a woman he slept with. He got her arrested, he never confessed, but I imagine he dealt with a lot of regrets for what he did to Precious. They offered her 10 years, a long time to lay it down. So if you wanna tell, you might as well say it now. Her eyes started to swell, she been crying for a while. In her heart she knew the truth, she comfortable with the trial. Her mother overwhelmed, she just knew this day would come. The tragedy of a cell, memories when she was young. Life ain't always been the best and often she kept a gun. But she ain't wanting her baby to suffer for what she done. 3 boys in the pen, one did 13 strong. His time getting short, September he coming home. So if she lose Nuke, she'll have to carry it on. But when you facing a storm, it gets scary, I know. I received a phone call, said Thursday they start trial. And I'm needing you to pray like hurry, I mean now. It's hard for me to say with the evidence they found. If I'll still be around or they shipping me out of town for the ride. Life's too precious, he had to be desperate for a woman he slept with. He got her arrested, he never confessed, but I imagine he dealt with a lot of regrets for what he did to Precious. Life's too precious, he had to be desperate for a woman he slept with. He got her arrested, he never confessed, but I imagine he dealt with a lot of regrets for what he did to Precious. It's been a long time coming and some moment to appear. I looked her in her eyes to indicate that I was there. And it would be a lie to say I'm sure without a care that the verdict is not guilty and this charge will disappear. If you wanna know the truth, it got harder every year. And for the prosecutor, she the target of the year. I caught a look of despair, she was walking to a chair. Precious, we got your back, don't worry, we all here. You know Stasha, Arada, and Shakita right beside her. Auntie on the way, I just spoke to her in the lobby. And Mike kinda scared, I feel him though, I ain't lying. Lena gets so emotional, she finna start crying. Father, you a provider, so I know you gotta feel me.
Say what's said, and this your boy Shout Ello. Right now, you're on Instinct Radio. Let's get it. Shout it.
All right, you guys, you're back live on the air with Regina Sunshine and Elias Reta here on the Regina Sunshine Show. And just a couple of announcements. For those who don't know, again, my book is officially for sale on my website and at Amazon.com. The title, of course, is Regina Sunshine State of Mind, 7 Keys to Help You Get Your Mind Right. And it is the coaching and teaching that I do on mindset that I've coached people on for years. And finally, by request after request after request, I put the book, teaching in book form. So you definitely can go to reginasunshine.com, which is where I benefit the most, and buy it. Or you can go to Amazon.com as well. And for those who don't know, and this is leading up to, I guess, the biggest event of the year, I was a part of Chicken Soup for the Soul's Curvy and Confident edition. Story number 20 entitled Bad Mama Jamma. And after that book came out, my coach and I decided we were going to do a Regina Sunshine Curvy and Confident Empowerment Week. So November the 14th through the 18th, it's Regina Sunshine Curvy and Confident Empowerment Week here in the city of Atlanta. We have 5 days of events. That Tuesday night is a spoken word event. Wednesday is comedy. Thursday is live music. That Friday is a book signing reception with me and the other ladies that are part of this book, Chicken Soup for the Soul, Curvy and Confident Empowerment. And then on Saturday is the big event. It's a fashion and award show where we're going to be celebrating women and sisterhood. We've got vendors of all types from all over the country already that have already signed up. We've got some amazing people here in the city like Tina Bridges that have already volunteered to be a part of this effort. We're giving away 10 awards to 10 amazing women that are doing great things in terms of empowering other women. We're also going to be highlighting our awesome girls, just like we do the Young Boss show. We do the Awesome Girls show. So the awesome girls are going to be there, and he didn't know this, but the Young Bosses are going to be invited back to be on the platform that day. So we will celebrate them again along with the girls. So it's going to be a big celebration and an awesome day. I I'll be unveiling a new company that I just got incorporated. We're not gonna talk about it right now, but that the big unveil will be that day, as well as the first maxi dresses from the Regina Sunshine maxi dress line. It's gonna be an amazing, amazing day. So I know, Jack, I'm doing too much. Y'all should see Jack Trey behind the scenes instructing me. But it's going to be an awesome time. So you can go to my website, reginasunshine.com. Check out Regina Sunshine Curvy and Confident Empowerment Week, November 14th through the 18th. And as I'm mentioning that, I think about, my birthday event. I do have a birthday event next month, August the 18th. I'll be 45 on August the 17th. But August the 18th, across the street at JR Crickets, I'm having a birthday event concert. I don't know what you want to call it. I got a bunch of different artists that are coming to perform and celebrate with me, but all in the name of a new scholarship that I'm founding in my grandmother's name, the Elizabeth Allen Alfred Scholarship Fund. The proceeds from this birthday concert will go to the first scholarship that will be given away next month, and then we'll be giving a second scholarship away at the Regina Sunshine Curvy and Confident Awards show as well. So come out if you're a Leo, you're celebrating birthdays. I say either July or August. Come out and celebrate with us, and let's raise some money for a great cause. My grandmother was one of the biggest givers that I ever knew, and I figured what better way to celebrate her and her memory than to give some other young person an opportunity to pursue their dreams and truly see their gifts develop. So that's what I got. What you got going on?
I'm doing quite a bit since the last time.
Well, please tell us.
First, I am now interning in Atlanta at the Gathering Spot, not too far from here.
I know yeah.
Two black male tech entrepreneurs, Travis and Troy Nunnally. They're actually twins, and they're tech twins, and that's one of their brands. But their main company is Brain Rain Solutions. I had to give them a shout out while I'm not working with them today.
That's how we need to bring them on through here.
They're amazing. Just the fact I reached out to them. I met them 2 years ago when I was at this entrepreneurship camp with Morehouse, and we took a we took a tour of Opportunity Hub, which is also in Atlanta. I don't know if you've heard of that. But I met these two guys in a room, and they were developing this app where you hold like an iPad or a device over an image, and you just hover it over. And so he showed us a picture of his wedding day, like it looked like this. And he just hovered it over, and it pulled up an entire video slideshow of all the events on his wedding day. Wow. It was called Reflect, and they make apps and different things, and they teach me about marketing and just different, important skills in that industry. So I'm doing that. I'm also interning with a film company, Reimagine ATL, and they do all team-produced content. Wow. And they're all based out of Atlanta. Everything they do is produced by teenagers. That's the really cool part about it. And also been making some music. I didn't think I told you this before, but I produce music.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, so I produce music. So if you go on SoundCloud and put in Fuego Beats, like Fuego, and you can pull up some like different tracks that I've produced. So yeah.
You're having quite an amazing summer.
Along with summer reading for school, we have to throw that in there.
Well, one of the reasons that you were selected to be one of the Young Boss honorees this year is because of all the amazing ways that you're using your gifts, talents, and abilities. And I remember getting, first of all, Ernest Moore from Future Gents was the one who nominated you for the show. Whenever I got your bio, I was like, when does this child sleep? It's what I was thinking, so involved. But after, meeting you and meeting your family, you're a wonderful balance of everything that you're doing. And I love that. So remind our audience again, some of the things that you're involved in, that you're passionate about, and some of your dreams and goals for the future.
My passions, dancing, huge passion of mine, on a subconscious level. Literally, I think it's in my amygdala, it's in my hippocampus. Like every time, I'm just always dancing. Dancing, music, performing, film, and I think just the arts in general, I really like.
That's a beautiful thing. It is. The next year, first of all, you're still in high school, right? Mm-hmm. What grade are you going to this year?
12th grade.
12th grade. So this is, you started smiling when he said 12th grade, Ma. You saw 12th grade. So what are your plans after high school?
Definitely college. I'd like to go to Stanford Stanford or school in Boston, one of those two.
So you want to get out of here.
Probably. Yeah.
I understand. I understand. I know it's a hard thing sometimes. My son is in the process of transitioning from here to San Diego to fight. And you met him, big hair.
Yeah.
And everything. So that's I understand, Mama, that could be a challenge, but I also understand that you have to have that space and that time to go and explore and really see what you want to do with your life. So what are you planning to study?
The plan right now is computer science, software development.
We talked about that because that's right, because I connected you with Ronald. I don't know if you guys have talked yet, but he's in IT as well, which I thought was an interesting thing. You're both models, if y'all didn't know. He's amazing on the runway, and you're both, in IT. So tell me how, because I listen to everything you say about the arts and your love for the arts. How does that tie into your dreams of pursuing something in computer science?
I would like to relate the two, and however I can maybe develop software or stuff, make new avenues for the arts with that skill. I want to relate the two fields, and that's becoming something that is more common, you see. But, social media platforms and, people in STEM need people with artistic backgrounds really to help them.
Yes.
Is what they're finding, and they're reaching out to people. So having, both skills, I think, is just amazing to have both skills.
As I hear you talking, I understand exactly why Dr. Karen Hypolite is going to be here today. I've always believed that the Regina Sunshine Show is a place of divine appointments, and she is the STEM lady in Georgia, isn't she, Jack? And so she'll be here in a little bit. So y'all were supposed to meet. So this is going to be great for you to connect with her, because she's doing a youth STEM conference here in just a couple weeks. So that might be something that definitely you can get involved in. I think that would be a great opportunity for you. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we come back. We'll have our first guest. Are you ready for our first guest?
I am ready.
All right. When we come back, Brandy Hunt is here again from South Carolina. I can't wait for you guys to meet her. She'll be live here with Regina Sunshine and Elias here on the Regina Sunshine Show.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Download the app on Google Play, Instinct Radio, or go to instinctradio.net. And now, back to the hottest sounds around. Instinct Radio.
He shot again, and once my friend felt that shot, he turned around and he put his hands in the air, and he started to get down, but the officer still approached with his weapon drawn, and he fired several more shots.
No Texas, no peace. Instantly, hundreds gathered, angered and saddened by what they call a complete overreaction by the officer. Now a family is demanding answers.
If there's no justice, there won't be peace. We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us let the struggle go. If there's no justice, there won't be peace. We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us make the struggle go.
Another sad moment in history is pure evil. When justice on the search for the people and never see you. And if you're here to follow procedure, I can't believe you. Whether law enforcement, of course, murder is still illegal. The date was August 9th. I pray see the light and get to dance with Jesus Christ, but they ain't have to take his life. The officer replied with gunshots while he cried, please stop, hands high, with no weapon on his side. I'm a black male who did time for armed robbery. The philosophy of shooting Michael Brown, it still shocks me. The witness say he stumbled to the ground 25 feet, clutching his stomach before his body hit the hot street, gasping for air. I ask in despair, will we ever be equal, or should I ask if you care? This a message for people who tend to blast unaware of teardrops and closed caskets. The answer is clear.
If there's no justice, there won't be peace. We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us let the struggle go. If there's no justice, there won't be peace. We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us make the struggle go.
How could you look in the face and tell her she worthless, and not be concerned with her heart and break it on purpose. It's sad when a girl need love on the search, just to become a victim of generational curses. Mama steady working, she ain't got the time, and daddy got hit for murder, so he's still doing time. It starts with a nickel, then leads to a dime, not knowing the full potential, she just do it for the vine. They like to see her dimples when they tell her that she fine, falling for something simple and they say that love is blind, but that right kind of love only comes from above. There's a heaven for a thug who's willing to give it up. I'm an example, cold dark nights I scrambled, made it hard to reach heaven like my flight was canceled. Never listen to the hype that men do, cause men killed Jesus on a tree and he bled for a reason.
There's no justice, there won't be peace. We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us let the struggle go. If there's no justice, there won't be peace. We'll let the struggle go on. Let the struggle go. Watch us make the struggle go on.
Hey, yo, this for all the victims, man, that died in homicides, man. This for all the victims that died out there in the streets, man. Blood spilled in the streets without no apologies, no explanations. This for all the mothers that mourn, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuning into the very best. It's yours truly, Jazzy Fizzle, Fizzle, Fizzle. And this is In-State Radio, man. Tune in, baby. Oh, boy.
All right, you guys, you're back live in the air with Regina Sunshine and Elias Reta here on the People You Need to Know segment for the Regina Sunshine Show. And we do have our first guest of the day all the way from South Carolina. What town in South Carolina again?
Greenville.
I thought it was Greenville. I didn't want to say that, you know. Some people get offended. Nah, I'm from Spartanburg. You know how folk around there
Yes.
can be. Welcome to the show, Brandy Hunt.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's so good to have you here.
Thank you. I've wanted to meet you forever. And
Really?
Never,
Well, you know, the thing about social media, it makes you feel like you already know people because
Right.
you converse and then you see them in real life and you're like, but we are meeting for the first time.
We talk all the time. We talk all the time.
Well, I think I began seeing your post and everything on my page in connection with maybe either Tracy fan or somebody like that, because Tracy has a huge following in the Greenville area. So I'm thankful that you did reach out and we were able to get you here. So you guys drove up today?
We did. Yes, ma'am.
So good drive.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, that's so fully loaded, but I am Brandy Hunt, author extraordinaire, transformation specialist, and purpose pusher.
I like that, purpose pusher. So tell us about, let's start there. Purpose pusher.
Well, for me, life was very challenging when I started out at a young age, and I felt like I had no purpose. I felt like I was just walking through life trying to find myself for 20 years. And it was one person that came to me and said, you know what? It's a lot in you. You can do it. So I became that which was given to me to go help other people just find out what's already in you. You don't necessarily have to go find things out there in the world. Just identify what's inside of you and go live that.
I feel exactly the same way. I tell people that all the time. People out here searching the whole world. What am I supposed to be doing? Who am I? And it's already inside of you. It does take that push sometimes for someone to help you reveal, what's already inside of you, so you can go ahead and live out your dreams.
It's like a purpose midwife. I just help people.
You know what?
Their visions.
Have you branded that yet? Have you branded this purpose pusher?
It will be by 5 o'clock.
I'm getting ready to say because somebody listen and be like, "That's a good idea." So, are you from Greenville originally?
I am born and raised. I actually lived here in Atlanta about 2009. I didn't stay long, but long enough. And then I'm actually lived in Charlotte as well.
I always tell people, leave home at least once. If you come back, then if you come back, it's okay. But at least you left.
And it saw the world.
And then you came back. So when you were in Atlanta, what were you doing here?
When I was in Atlanta, I was actually acting. I'm an actress and model as well.
See, all these divine appointments, things end up lining up just like they're supposed to. So, author extraordinaire, that's what you said. Tell us why you call yourself the author extraordinaire.
Well, that's just because that's what God calls me, so I just like to agree with him. But if I had to figure out why he called me that, it's just because when I grab hold of something, once I grabbed hold of my identity as an author, I wanted it to be big and extraordinary. Because when I lived for Satan, I was big and extraordinary. So since I'm on this side with God, I'm going to be big and extraordinary.
I love that. Oh my goodness. I remember, and I can't think of who it is right now. It was somebody I met. Oh, good friend of mine, Mario Ravenel out of Columbia, South Carolina. Same thing. He said, when I was out there banging, he said, I was doing it for real, for real. He said, now I'm on the other side. I need to be just as big
and
on
extra.
this side as well. Well, you are an author. Tell us about your book.
Well, this is my first baby. I actually have 4 now. Again, extraordinary. If
Yes.
I'm going to do it, I got to do it
You
big.
gotta do it.
But this is my first baby, was dealing with the hand I was dealt. That title by itself, just tells you that's a lot. And basically the hand that I was dealt was my father committed suicide when I was 12. That alone will take you years to get over. But add on to that rape, molestation, a divorce, having a baby, into my early 20s, just life. I felt as if God gave me the worst possible cards he could. And when he found me, which he probably never left me, let's just say that, I know he never left me, but when I realized who he was, I was in a domestic violence shelter, and he told me that that's not who I called you to be. This mess of no self-worth, no self-esteem, not even low, just none, not knowing who you are, no identity. Go in the Bible and find 100 things that I said about you, not what the world says about you, not what other people identified about you, not how you felt when your father passed away, not any of these emotions that we have to go through. And as women, we get it a little worse than men. But nothing, don't tell me what they said, tell me what I said, and speak that back to me. And as I began to speak it back to him, we live in a cycle. What you speak, you hear, you see. It's all cyclical. So I began to do it in the mirror, and as I began to say it, I began to live it, almost without my permission. Because I was just being obedient. I didn't want to do that. I was like, I don't want to go farther down than I'm already. So God, I hear you. So let's do this together. And I would stand in the mirror and I would cry so much when I would have to say, I'm beautiful. When I would have to say I'm worthy, and I would be like, you're not worth. I would repeat after I said I'm worthy. I'd be like, you're not really worth it. And I said, why would you stand here and recommit suicide? Because that's what I was doing. I was killing myself internally, even though my father committed a natural suicide. But we got a lot of people walking around out here that are killing themselves on a daily basis by speaking negative about themselves, telling themselves you're not worth it. You're not. Who told you that? Like in the Garden of Eden, who told them that they were naked? They didn't have that knowledge. So somebody had to come along and put something in that ear after they ate that apple and said, you're naked. So who told you that you weren't worth it? Who told you that you couldn't start a business? Who told you that? Who told you couldn't be an astronaut? A black astronaut.
Yes.
So who told you this information? So I say, you know what? I'm going to go back to the basics that I learned in church. Church told me that God is an abundant God and he has this abundant life. So guess what I'm going to start chasing? I'm going to start chasing abundant things, and I'm going to get rid of negative people, negative things, negative personalities. I'm just going to have to cut it all off. And did it hurt? Absolutely. It's not going to be easy. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't going to be any harder than what I had already been through. If I could survive that, I can survive this. Wow. You touched on so much. I want to go back to the beginning, and everything that that phase you found yourself in, because you came to yourself is what happened. You came to yourself. Why was it important to you to tell that story? Because here you began to write and share some of these experiences. Why was it important to you to be transparent about where you were? I think my deepest regret was that my sisters were going through the same thing. We had the same stories, the same struggles, but we sitting on the same pew. And I don't understand, if the God you're teaching me about says that I'm whole, then why aren't we whole? And so once I found my wholeness and my healing and the process I had to go through, I said, I can't keep this to myself. I cannot let my sisters and brothers continue to feel degraded and defeated over something that happened to us, but that's not who we are. And that's how people continually live their life, in a state of yesterday. And so I promised myself that I would live out my dreams by living out my story and by showing people that, yes, I went through a lot of stuff that I didn't even put in the book that wouldn't fit. But I went through a lot of things, but look at me now. And it's not look at my accomplishments now, but look at my mindset now. I won't let people degrade me. I won't let people tell me that I'm not worth it. And that in itself is success to me. When you've progressed past a mind state, PTSD, depression, all those inner turmoil things. So I wanted to go and save my sisters and brothers.
I love that. Did you have anything you wanted to ask?
I'm just so.
You taking it, soaking it in? Well, you know.
Wow.
Well, you know, you and I are similar in so many things. As you were talking, it was like I could hear myself saying some of the things that you say, and it is so important how we speak to ourselves. And people negate that. They make sure they say positive things to other people, and then they'll speak death to themselves, not recognizing that that's destroying everything, even that you're putting out as well. So affirmations, that's what I heard as you were talking. Affirmations, how important has it been in your life to have those positive affirmations?
Man, I think Satan has like a machine gun for a tongue, and you know, he's shooting 100 negatives, and so they've been very intricate in my life because it's what's keeping me going. It's like my weaponry to combat the enemy. And so while he's saying you're not worth it, and I'm over here going, but I'm a child of God. You know, you're not going to make it. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So for every one you got, I got like 4.
Yes.
So the affirmations for me, it's not, because they are not my words. They're the words that our Heavenly Father spoke. I'm just repeating what he said. I'm an ambassador. You know, ambassadors just say what they told them to say. They don't say anything else. So that's what I do. I say what my father said. And if you got a problem with it, you can take it up with him.
I said the same thing before. I'll tell you, if you got a problem with me, go see my dad.
Yes.
Well, you know, I've found, especially with the people that I work with, one of the biggest challenges is getting them to change the way they speak. And that's what my book is about, mindset. And one of the chapters in there, it talks about, you know, the words that you're speaking. And they can say they agree with you, and then 2 seconds later, you will hear the exact opposite. Why do you think it's such a challenge, that one piece, changing the way that you speak?
Well, it's because repetition is habitual. So we do things out of habit that we don't even know. I got a new car, and I habitually saw my old car and went to it. Now, I know I just paid for this car. I got the keys in my hand for this new car, but habitually, because what we've spoken, what we've done, what we've patterned in our life, that's just a simple thing because it's what we're drawn to. So we almost have to, I had to consciously wake up, put it on my schedule. I had to I tell people I had to backstroke out of sin, out of all kind of stuff. I had to get out of there by any means necessary, and that's how we have to do things. We have to do them on purpose and with a purpose, so that we're not still going. And of course, when my mind clicked and said, "This isn't your car," because I wasn't focused. I was on the phone, texting. You know, so when we get off focus, we're gonna easily be swayed. So you can't be swayed by negative thoughts. You have to know what those negative thoughts are. Like, I know when I stand in the mirror, I'm gonna hear something like, you know, you got that bump on your face, you got to go on TV today, you know, something simple, but then you're going to think about that all day. You're going to be like and so they can be like, why was she doing that the whole time? But it's because of my own inhibitions and my own, but be like, girl, you look good, you better go rock that interview. God, can you handle this? And so you have to remember that faith goes before us. A lot of, you know, what motivational speaking, a lot of time it all kind of seems to melt together, but we're different. We're kingdom children. So while we might be saying the same thing, our faith has already gone before us to make our way. So we're really just reminding people of what's going on in our life.
Oh, girl, I love it. I love it. I'm like, we need to go and do some stuff together, like right now. One of the things that I was thinking about as you were speaking, and I had this conversation with many mothers before, what I said before, they're really great at speaking life into their children, but then they downgrade themselves, and they don't even realize that by doing that, your children are hearing that. I had a mother once, and I told her, I said, every time you are complaining about the way you look and that you're not enough, that baby looks just like you. Yeah. And so when she hears you say that she's hearing that you're saying the same, if I look like my mama and my mama ain't cute, I ain't cute. If I look like my mama is, you know, can't do these things, then I can't either. Speak to the mothers specifically, because I hear it more with mothers and daughters, especially about, you know, the outer appearance. Speak to the mothers about what it means when you're talking negative about yourself and your daughter is hearing you.
Gosh, my daughter is now getting ready to be 17. Glory to God, we made it. At first, I didn't think we were going to make it. But for the mothers that have a hard time, I would really say deal with the reason why you want to speak down to them. Because I promise you it probably goes back to the daddy or to the event that happened, how they got here. My daughter was not wanted. I did not want a baby. Excuse me. I didn't know my daughter. So I don't want y'all to email me or none of that. I didn't know my daughter, but I was 19 years old. I was going to be a Dallas cowgirl. And I was going to go into the military. Those were my dreams. And when I got pregnant, I was like, I don't want no baby. So I used to send her to her daddy's house. Go to your daddy's house. Go to your grandma's house. Anybody's house but my house. So I birthed her in rejection. But it wasn't her that I didn't want. It was that I was going to have to alter my entire life for this new being. I didn't have the fluffy mother, the baby coos and stuff. I didn't have that. And I was upset about it because I would see moms be like, oh, and I'd be like, she cute. I dress her up like a little baby doll, but I don't want this responsibility. Yeah. So if I would have went and dealt with the fact that motherhood is a blessing. So a lot of times we look at our children as curses. I didn't want the daddy. I didn't want this. I wanted to marry. Maybe you did want the daddy. Maybe you did want him and he didn't want you back, or it didn't work out for some reason, but your children are not a curse. So when we look at them as the blessing that they are, because she ended up being the only blessing that kept me on this earth. Because, when I was down, Mommy, are you okay? Yeah. Do you need a hug? Oh, I'm not going to ever leave you. So when you're crying that John that left this week, the babies come, do you need, they are a blessing. And we have to look at everything, children, jobs, whatever it is that we have in our life. If it's in your life, it is a blessing of some sort. And if it is cursing you and it's a living, breathing being and it's your child, go back to the root of it, because the root of it is probably where the curse is, and go speak to it. Talk about it. Get some help. If it's depression, I had postpartum depression. Didn't know that. So I dealt with a lot of things on my own in anger. So if you're angry about something, you have a root cause and you have to go back to the root. Just like a tree is chopped down, you don't chop a tree down from the roots. It's going to fall and destroy other stuff. They have to chop it down a little bit at a time, and when they get to the trunk, then they can go to digging. So you might want to just sit down and figure out, why is it that I can't talk to my children and them be a blessing that they're supposed to be.
Absolutely. You mentioned you wrote 3 other books. Tell us about your other books.
My second book is called Dear Daughter, Daddy Loves You. And that is an entire book of letters from God to his daughters, just telling them what he believes.
Go ahead.
What he believes to be true. I didn't have a father again, so I don't know what a father is like up until 12. So I remember him saying stuff like, you're pretty, you're cute, you my baby girl. But that was it. That's all I can remember. I remember him being a protector. He was in the military, so I do remember that. But as far as a God kind of love, I didn't know that. I didn't know unconditional love other than from my mother. And so God would start talking to me in letters, like you would write your friend, and it would start out with Dear Daughter, and at the end he would say Daddy loves you. And so I kept them over the years and I put them in a book.
Girl, I'm about done up here. Go ahead, next book.
And then the next one is called Fly 365, and it stands for Fearless Living Year Round. Be the pilot of your own life. This was birthed because when I came out of my mess and I had dreams and goals, then people wanted to shut me down. Well, you can't do that because you're an XYZ. You ever heard that? Well, you can't do that because you're from Greenwood. You can't do that because you're black. You can't do that because you're this. And so I allowed it to stop me. I said, well, at least I'm not in that. I may not be up there, but at least I'm not in that. And God said, that's not what I told you to do. I told you to go be fearless and have courage and be bold. And that's what I need you to do. So this whole book is about taking risk and being the pilot. A pilot has to do what? Take people to another destination and get there safely. But you're going to have turbulence. You're going to have all kind of things that happen. You got baggage. You still got baggage, but you got to own it. You got to claim it. So it's yours. And then the last one is the ABCs of publishing, which is basically showing people from A to Z how to publish a book.
Wow. I love everything that you shared, especially that I have a heart for women's ministry. That's where I started. People know me because of Regina Sunshine, but the people who really know me know that my heart is women's ministry. And so when I hear you talking about that letter, it's so needed because there are so many broken women walking around, look good, smell good,
face beat,
honey, looking amazing,
heartbroken,
and at the house boohoo crying.
Yes.
Can't even get the lashes off before they start crying when they walk through the front door. So talk to me about, as you go around and you talk about your book and you minister to women, what are some of the roots or causes for some of the brokenness that you see?
The top one, rejection, abandonment, and I would say low self-worth. And most of the time, the low self-worth may have come from a person, a loved one, somebody you loved did not speak love into you. They, you look just like your daddy. You're ugly, you're fat, you're tall, short. I'm 5 foot tall. I don't think I got 5 foot until I was 25. So I was 4'11", so I was always called short. And, you think those negative thoughts. And again, it's digging deeper and deeper and deeper. So abandonment, rejection, and negative thoughts. And out of my book, I created an acronym called PAIN, PAIN. So if we deal with the people, the anger, the insecurities, and the negativity that life has dealt us, we will be on our way to our purpose. Because once I deal with all of that, what can be holding me? What can be binding me if I've dealt with all of that? The people is going to be the hardest one. But why would you want to continue to, if I came in here and I was cutting myself with a knife and I'm just bleeding out everywhere, you wouldn't be like, oh, well, just come on, sit down. You want to help me. You want to help patch me up. But we got people out here like that every day, cutting themselves, just bleeding out. And we just like, come on, girl, let's go eat. But I'm bleeding. I'm hurting. Can't you see? But sometimes people can't see because you're not looking for it. So once you decide to stop cutting yourself and you want to be healed, you would think that was crazy if you saw somebody doing that, but you go home and you do it to yourself. You keep letting John Boy and them come by.
Girl, talk about it.
You keep
That's
letting them come
Go
by.
ahead.
Knowing they ain't got no good for you. They just coming to get what they want, whatever that might be: money, sex, cars, clothes. They need somewhere to live, but they have no intention of loving you or marrying you. So why are you still letting him come? Because of your low self-worth, because you haven't dealt with your issues. You deal with your issues and it'll be much easier to say, no, thank you, I don't want you to use me this week.
Girl, that's so good. I was sitting here thinking as you were talking, because that's one of the biggest challenges that people have is letting people go.
Yeah.
Letting people go, even though this is not and not just an intimate partner relationship, family members, people that you know are not in your life for the best reasons.
Yeah.
Why is that so tough?
Because they don't trust God. If you trusted God, Regina and I are best friends. Been best friends for 20 years. And Regina comes and says, you know what, Brandy, I don't like what you blah, blah did on my show, and we're not going to be friends no more. I have an open door policy. You can come in and you can go out, but make sure you shut the door on your way out, because I trust that God has a plan for her life. And if God's plan was that we weren't friends anymore, I free you, because I'm free. I'm going to free you to do whatever it is that you feel like God wants you to do, but I bet you'll be back. What you just shared is so key. You don't hear anybody talking about that particular piece, but that is such a huge part of the challenges people are facing. They got people in their circle that they know aren't supposed to be in their circle. They know don't mean them any good, and are in some cases holding them back from whatever God has for them. But because we have these soul ties to people, we continue to hold on. And I have never heard anybody phrase it the way you phrase it. If you trust God, then you'll let anything go that's not of him and it's not for you. Yeah, food. I love eating. But I can't have a Snickers every day. I want one every day. I cry when I can't have it. But I trust God. I trust God to be everything that I need. And Snickers, of course, is not nourishing. It's not like I'm saying I don't want to eat an apple. I want this Snickers because it makes us feel good. I want to feel good. And God's saying, no, I'm it. I'm your nourishment. I'm everything that you need. I'm your solace. I'm your peace. Come to me. And so we don't go to God. Social media, I love it, but we go to social media. Let me find a post. Let me air my dirty laundry instead of saying, you know what, God, deal with that person. I trust you. I'm going to go do my purpose. Because a lot of people not focused. Again, we all focus. We're going to the wrong car because you're doing too much and you're not not focused on your purpose. If I'm focused on my purpose, I know I'm not going to, if I'm waiting for my husband, I'm not going to continue to go out on dates with men who have already told me I only want to sleep with you. Why are you going on a date with him then? So if you remember the purpose and I trust God, then I'm not going to entertain all these jokers.
Girl, that is so good. I was talking to a friend of mine this weekend, and he was talking about the fact that he's dating with a purpose. He's dating to be married. But he said a lot of women don't understand that. When you were talking, I thought about him so clearly. He said they just want to go and hang out and have a good time. They don't understand. He said, for me, if I already know I'm not going to marry you, I'm not going to waste your time or my time, because it's really going to throw both of us off target. So I'm so glad you shared that, because that was exactly the conversation that he had.
They're lying. They say they want to just go out and hang out.
They think they're going to change his mind.
They think they're going to change his mind, and they're scared to trust God. Because if you trusted God, I know who I should go out and who I shouldn't go out with. And I know I've been out on some dates God told me not to, and they fell just like he told me they would. So if you're trusting God, you know whether this relationship is going anywhere or not. So I like to eat, but I'm not going to go eat with you if I know that you have ill intention for my life. I think human talking and gathering and social and is good for us. But if it's taking me away from my purpose, it's taking me away from my children, it's taking me away from something that I should be doing to go do something I shouldn't be doing, then we shouldn't be doing it. And we have to be harder on ourselves.
Today,
I had to be hard on myself.
Today,
we'll be hard. I'll be hard on you, but I want to be hard on me. I want to call you to, the border. Like if you were to come in here and be like, I don't like your dress, I would be offended. But I can go in the mirror and say, you didn't look good today. Why do you beat yourself up? But if Regina came to do it, you would give her all the business. We need to be harder on ourselves and let other people be free.
Yes, I love it. You got anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to know, like, what do you have to say to teenagers? Because from what you said, a lot of it started when you were 12. And from this book I've been reading about psychology, like a lot of problems that go permanently into adult life formulate between 12 to 16 years old, because we treat the adolescent brain like it's an adult, but it's really not. And stuff that's happening then is creating a blueprint for later. And so the people that, are, I guess, going through what you're saying, but are younger, what would you have to say to them, still in school, teenagers?
Well, I'll do it two ways. For any young woman or man that's been through any kind of molestation, rape, it's not your fault. Speak on it. Do not let anyone hold it back. If it's, I'm hurting, I want to commit suicide, I want to lash out on people, I want to quit school. It could just be something very simple. Talk to somebody about it. Guidance counselors and teachers are the best people that you can talk to. I know they can be a little rough around the edges sometimes, but they are hired and trained professionals. And if you can't do that, go to Google. I know all the teens got phones now, and find a free phone number that you can call and just vent to somebody. Emotions have to get out. They have to go somewhere. And as a child, I felt like I didn't have anywhere to go and call, so I used to be really angry inside. But if you at least talk to somebody, they're either going to give you an answer, they're going to give you a resource, or they'll at least give you some peace of mind. If it's something horrible, like my father raped me, you need that needs to be some police involvement. Don't hold it in. Don't be afraid to talk about it. You are safe. If you talk to trained professionals, you're safe, and they will get you the help you need. Now, if it's just regular teenage life, I don't know, son. I swam my way out of it. I'm just kidding. What I would tell my old self is, one, stay focused. Do not let people deter you into peer pressure. And you know what peer pressure, by the time you're 17, you know right from wrong. And even at 12 and 13, you know right from wrong. And choose right. Right is always right, and wrong is always wrong. So you may have to walk by yourself. And if I would have told now I do this now, I walk by myself a lot. And I say walk by myself through life. I don't have a lot of people I can call friend. As a teenager, you want 75 friends. There aren't 75 people that really like you for who you are. Those people probably want something from you more than to give something to you. If your friends aren't lifting you up, taking you to church, taking you to good, healthy gatherings, y'all meeting, drinking, smoking, sexing, all that is not good. That is not good for you or to you, and it's only going to lead you down a path of destruction. Do not follow paths of destruction. Follow paths of encouragement and bridge building.
That was great question, a great answer. I
It
love
was.
it. Well, it's been such a blessing to have you
Thank
here.
you.
have ministered today. I'm sure my audience got something from it. If someone is listening and they want to reach out to you, they want to connect, they need some coaching, they want to have you come and speak to a group, how can they find you?
Absolutely. I'm on all social media platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, as Brandy the Author, Hunt, Hunt. Again, Brandy the Author. My last name is Hunt. And my email is published, PUBLISHU, the letter U, 00@gmail.com. I also help people write books. Shameless plug.
No, girl.
So if you want to write a book about your life and your life story, I'm your girl, author extraordinaire. And my telephone number is 864-305-6518.
Awesome. So since you finished with the author thing, then this is my last question for this segment. If there's someone out there and they've been wanting to write a book and they just haven't felt like they could, or maybe their story wasn't good enough for a book, what would your response to them?
Write your book, tell your story, and don't worry about what anybody else has to say about it, because the only reason you haven't done it is because you're afraid of what people will say. So deal with the hand you were dealt first.
I love it.
And I can help you with that along the way. I have 25 fabulous clients right now. I'm also doing a collaboration. We could have a whole nother show.
Yes.
I'm doing a collaboration, and if I can say, on September 9th, we're having our book release in Greenville, South Carolina. Again, check it out on our Facebook page. Go to Eventbrite, get the tickets. It's an all-day event, women's empowerment during the morning. We're like the same. And then our book release will be that evening, September 9th, 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And that's it.
Awesome. You're going to hang around to the end of the show? We'll bring everybody back to close out the show together?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we come back. First of all, that was amazing. Awesome. I'm going to have to go ahead and digest a lot of it. When we come back, we'll have Dr. Karen Hypolite here with us. And I can't wait for you guys to meet her. Inventor, author, all-around amazing STEM professional. You're live with Regina Sunshine and Elias Reta here on the Regina Sunshine Show.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
Yeah! Greenville, Spartanburg, Carolina, stand up! Yeah! Okay, I'm going in, go and pass me the mic. Cause my savior paid my debt, there's no asking the price. Even knowing that the enemy was after his life, he still came to earth to chill, like a package of ice. Now for those who don't know me, like he actually nice. I'm not bragging on myself, but they actually right. If you not living no gray, I'm asking polite that you kindly step aside while I actually fight. Cause I kill my flesh daily, you can go ahead and talk mine. Faith never shaky, was it built upon a fault line? Oh no, built upon the most high, no post by. That's why his word suits me, so perfect, no bow tie. But if you faking, you should really stop, man. He should never end seat like a 1990s pop tag. So calm down with that hooting and the hollering. Christ don't need a Twitter if you really wanna follow him. Yeah.
Look at my life and see the perfect hand of God. To continue on this path, I must admit sometimes it's hard. When obedience is questionable and lines you draw across, you feel degraded by your flaws. Remember you made it for a cause, kingdom. I should be dead, but yet there's purpose in my being. From a spot where I was raised, if there was purpose, they ain't see it. Blinded by procedure, the searches and subpoenas. Cold nights without the heaters, plus the neighbors had to feed us. Jesus chose to relieve us. He was captured for my freedom. To restore the broken heart, it might be fractured, but it's beaten. And the devil got some nerve, throwing attacks when he's defeated. I'm saturated in the blood like that mattress I used to be in. My brother was born fiending, crack racing through his bloodstream. And this could be my chance to tell him what Jesus' blood mean. My debt is settled, money can't cover this gruesome blood scene. And what scene is only temporary, fit for a king.
Okay, I won't be controversial, stay away from the hurdles. In track I ran 100, cause I refuse to go in circles. Just give it to you straightforward, most of us just date the Lord. We don't want a relationship, we're just here cause he paid for it. More than hopped off in the cypher, rappers became disciples. Started off a baby in Christ, then adult-sized diapers. And God gave me these bars, so I ain't exactly write them. I'm the driver, he the owner, that's a car without the title. You like Jesus, take the wheel, but he said you are his will. And he loved you like a son, like Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil. These cats gotta know a real God love them. That's why I gotta stay outside the box like a 2-year-old coloring. Yeah, who introduced me? I know none of you knew me. Just please stay hungry like Scooby. I fell into the truth. It's like an NC-17 rated movie. I mean, it's good, but it's raw. Like you might see a little booby. Maybe I'll sue you, or maybe I'll lose you. Let's see. It's for you by us. And that's still FUBU. And God's assignment's not like working a chore. See, I was gonna do that anyway. That's like telling Steph Curry to score.
Talking Jesus, Mary and Joseph, Mercy Alagos, mercenaries that murder for profit, and Satan's depositing moguls and models. They memories trapped up in Moscato bottles. Muted, diluted, they want you this phenomenal minus. Plus that, the square root is dividing our houses. I'm whole now, Heavenly Father, He balanced and mounted. I work for it, hit and miss, if I make it then count it. Mixed feelings, light-skinned, the dog of the violet. All white, guess right, see the Lord is my stylist. Symbolism on my wings, the Lord is my pilot. Slow it down, my mind racing, I'm leaking my mileage. You bending hard and starting thinking your gospel is spineless. Reproduction is a waste you ain't using your nostrils. Juvenile, Sparkle City, Magnolia projects. I'm only rapping so that you remember. Your road can look like a Saucony symbol and still find
Hey, let me
God.
skip past the part of introducing myself. Coming straight for the fakes with these heavyweight belts. Are you advertising well as a grave or a cell? Now we statistics on the pie chart. Thanks to your help, you told him pop the trunk of things should ever get bad. But he was only looking for his dad. That's sad, but I refuse to lose the use to your distribution of nuisance. You nuisance minded for loot, man. You just as foolish as Judas. Don't get hung up on the wordplay. My team drop lines like fishing rods, yo. You heard me? And they love God. Hashtag squad goals, but don't sleep on the flow. We still got bars forever. That's life, no parole. Brag.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuning into the very best. It's yours truly, Jazzy Fizzle, Fizzle, Fizzle. And this is In-State Radio, man. Tune in, baby. Oh, boy.
All right, you guys, you're back live with Regina Sunshine and Elias Reta here on the Regina Sunshine Show. This is our People You Need to Know segment, and I'm so excited to have back with us Dr. Karen Hypolite. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Regina. It's so good to be here.
You
Glad
know,
to be back.
so much has happened since we originally met. Let's talk about how I first met you.
Okay.
Destiny's Daughters of Promise.
Yes.
Their Girls to Women Symposium, and
Yes.
you were on the parents panel.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing, your energy. And I got to know you and a little bit of things that you had going on, and I was just so impressed by your love for science and technology. Let's go ahead. Science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yes.
And your desire to help our children to grow in that field. So remind our audience who you are and what you do.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you again for being here. I'm really, really excited. And I love your platform because it's so powerful. It's always positive and it's informative, and which is what we need. But I'm Dr. Karen Hypolite. I'm a professor at Kennesaw State, an inventor, and invented a product called the Shalero. And I wrote a book. But more importantly, my life is a convergence of innovation, creativity, which produces for the unknown in the 21st century. And that's what we want our young people to be able to get to, using critical thinking and problem solving to converge with creativity in the 21st century to fill a need, to fill a gap. So, and with the power of faith, let me just put that out there, because I really believe that I'm just not, a ball of clay just sitting here, that my life has meaning and purpose. And, we all want to have meaning. And what does my life mean? Why am I here? That kind of thing. So along with my journey, I was able to, and this didn't happen just like automatically. It's a journey for a reason. But believing in the power of faith and understanding that somebody somewhere knows why I'm here. And we're going to figure this thing out together.
Yes.
So after creating the Shalero, after being on QVC, I just felt like there was more. Believe it or not, there is more to life than making money. I know it might seem funny or a notion, but it just wasn't enough. After you get successful on a quote unquote level of success, or you on where you think that people think you should be, or where you want to go for yourself, there's more. So I understand that my life means more than just making money, making products, being in business, but I want to be able to share the tools that helped me along the way. So Think, Create, Innovate, the books that I I wrote that was launched at the American Library Association's conference last week, which I'm very excited about. It was spoken into existence about 2 years ago. It doesn't just happen. And I think I shared this with you on the show then. You know that the power of when you believe and the providence starts working when you believe, and those things just start putting into place. So the book that I spoke in 2015, I actually signed autographs, 50 copies gone in 20 minutes. We ran out of books in Chicago. Actually happened, but it takes, faith, going through the process of understanding I need to be educated with a skill. I need to know how to do something, and then those tools that you use to create whatever you're going to create leads to innovation. That's going to fill a gap in the 21st century.
And the thing I love about you, because you're like, like Bill Nye the Science Guy meets Oprah. You know what I'm saying? You're all of that. You make science cool. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Because when you came out to Maze and you talked to our kids, it's like, here's this beautiful woman with all this energy, not this boring science teacher talking about, opportunities in STEM. So it gets their attention when now they're ready and willing to listen.
That's right.
I want to go back to the QVC thing, because there are not many people who have sold products on QVC and been really successful in that arena. Yeah. Talk to us about the Shalero, your invention.
Well,
that you hold a patent for.
Yes.
Go ahead. Let's talk about
trademark, all that good stuff. And I used to hear all the time, necessity is the mother of invention. So it didn't just fall on me. And I tell young people this all the time. Just because it's hard or it's difficult or there seems to be a barrier to entry, that doesn't mean you can't do it. It means that you have to keep on going and figuring it out until you come up with the answer. That's what the message is, and how to go through the process during the 21st century. But I was on my way to a meeting and I didn't have a scarf. I didn't have a jacket. I didn't have anything. My arms were bare, and I wanted to have my arms covered. So all I had was a scarf. So I did what we do best. I improvised. And I made the scarf. A jacket cover my arms, right? And I went into the meeting, didn't think anything about it. But 3 years later, I lost my job. My company was downsizing. I lost my job. And so I'm like, okay, what are we going to do now? And, using my savings, okay. Didn't have anything, no prospects were near. And it was like I was in a Matrix movie. It was like a dream. In my dream, I saw the Shalero. I saw the logo, like all at the same time, because Shalero, the word that I own, it means that it's a scarf, a shawl, and a bolero in one word. Shalero. So when you have community partners and you have people that believe in your dream and your vision, they are looking out for you. One of the key factors in getting to your next destination is partnership. So one of the people that I know really, really, really well, that I love dearly, 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 my father, he's retired. He was watching QVC one day, and they used to have a program. They don't have it anymore, unfortunately, but they had a program called the Sprouts Program, where they invite young inventors, young innovators to submit their product or invention for sale on their platform. Well, QVC gets 500 products per day to review. So that's 500 times 30 every month. But thankfully, when I won, so the 6 of us won, right? So the VP, they invited us to this big old breakfast, very fancy schmancy. And I met my buyer who reviewed my product. And she said, when I saw that product, I knew from the beginning that we were going to purchase that product. So throughout the whole product development phase, because it started off as a scarf, right? And then I had
safety pins.
Yeah, and safety pins.
Yeah, I remember saying
that. And then it went to a drawing, and then I had to partner with a product development company, and then I had to get a patent, and then I had to find people to fund this product, investors and the whole lawyers, and just the protection of the whole product. It let me know that throughout all of my training as a scientist, I brought all of those skills with me. So that critical thinking and problem solving is not just a skill for a chemistry lab. It's not just a skill for math. In the book, I answer the question, why do we have to take geometry? Anyway, because through critical thinking and problem solving in life, you're going to have to solve problems. So it's not the geometry. It's the skill that you learn through problem solving. That's why you have to take geometry.
And they ask that question all the time, don't they?
All the time.
Well, since when I first met you, I think it was during the time when Shalera had just come out. But
Yes.
and again, you sat here and you spoke about this vision, and it had not manifested yet. But we're sitting here today with the manifestation of a dream.
Yeah.
Talk to us about this manifestation.
All right. So I'm sitting at my desk, and I want to share with your viewers and your listening audience that whenever you have a dream in your heart, because it's difficult or you don't know how, that doesn't mean you don't go for it. That means that you have to find the people and the resources that's going to pull all of those components together that's going to make your dream and your vision come to pass. And I hear people say all the time, I'm 56, I'm 49, I'm married, I have kids, I'm not married, I don't have kids. None of those components have anything to do with your manifestation of what you were given to bring to this world in the 21st century. The 20th century, and I talk about this all the time, especially to my students, the 20th century, we put a man on the moon. In the 21st century, we're going to Mars. NASA right now we're not only colonizing Mars, they're calling it an outpost. Because, and I got this from a NASA scientist 2 weeks ago, we are looking to adventure past what we know into the unknown. So when you have a vision, your vision is for such a time as this. So I did not know how Think, Create, Innovate was going to manifest in real time and what it was going to mean, because I'm thinking, how does a degree in chemistry, a PhD, an invention have anything to do with STEM? In my mind, remember, I'm connected to a bigger purpose. So purpose had me to converge my life of innovation, creativity, right, with critical thinking, because it just so happens that the youth of today, next gen, needs to know how to meander through. So when you have a dream, you have to, first of all, believe it. Remember we said at Mays, it's not so much all things are possible to them that believe. It's whatever you believe, that's what's possible for you. So sitting at my desk, long story short, I said, I'm going to get a book deal. Book Expo America is the largest convergence of publishers, movie rights, international rights, you name it. They all converge to this one location called Book Expo America, and they travel every year. One year they could be at the Jacob Javits Center in New York City. The next year they could be at the McCormick Center in Chicago. Well, in 2016, they were at the McCormick Center in Chicago. So I don't know anyone, right? Like nobody knows Dr. Karen, right? So, but in my mind, it's already a done deal. So the first thing I did is, okay, let me see if I can get a plane ticket to Chicago. So I'm online. I found a round trip plane ticket to Chicago for $85. I said, okay, yeah, it's on now. It's a wrap. I found out that I had family that was from Chicago. I was able to stay with them. So the pieces really started coming together. So I I pull into the McCormick Center. I'm in the parking lot, and I whisper a little prayer. And I say, okay, God, I don't know anyone here, but I need you to do this for me. I get out of my car, step onto the elevator. So like I'm already in the mode like this is about to happen. So I've already made up my mind. So I'm dressed. I have my cards. I mean, my book is not even finished yet.
Yes.
But I've already made up my mind, right? So I get onto the elevator and there were 3 ladies standing there, and I introduce myself. Hello, I'm Dr. Karen Hypolite. I'm an author. A lady gets on the elevator behind me and says, I'm an author too. So we had this big old author conversation, and I began to share with her about my book, and she said, wow, this is such an interesting concept. Maybe my publisher wouldn't mind speaking to you about this. Her name is Rebecca Brewster. She has a very good book, and she texts her editor at the time, and she says, I'm here speaking with Dr. Karen about her book on thinking, creativity, and innovation. Would you like to speak with her? Her editor says, tell Dr. Karen to come to your book signing at 3:00. It was done. At that point, it was like Providence had met my faith. And at that time, long story short, I get through the line, I speak with her, I bless her, I honor her for her book, her editor, and I speak. Her publisher, the owner of the company, called me and says, Dr. Karen, we would love to publish your book, Think, Create, Innovate, STEM.
I love that because I remember when I first heard the story, like you said, you went there without a finished book. You don't even have a book.
I had like 3 chapters, but my thesis was already in order. I knew exactly where I was going to go. It was just a matter of me walking it out.
I love that. And the way that you give back to our young people and you share not only your story, but that energy. And you got an event coming up. Tell us about this STEM event that's coming up.
Okay, so some friends and I, so when you're in business and you're in the community and you share your vision, people want to get along with what you're doing, especially if they have the same vision too. So I'm the board chair of the Atlanta STEM Foundation, and all of us together, board members and my community partners, we're saying we can do something about getting young people engaged in this 21st century conversation because there's so much innovation that needs to be done. We have issues in cybersecurity, defense, agriculture, infrastructure. We have so many questions that need to be answered. We need this generation to get involved, to be prepared and educated so that employees, they can become employees of organizations who's looking for their talent. Regina, do you not know that 35% of companies today can't find talent? I'm talking high-level, high-paying jobs, $80,000, $120,000 a year, high-paying jobs that are looking for critical thinking and problem-solving skills in their talent, in their human resources. I used to tell my students, and I still do to this day, that you are hired, you're the machine. You have the answer. Companies are looking to this generation, which is what the Georgia STEMCon. That's the name of the conference. STEMCon. Georgia STEMCon is to bring companies, young people, community stakeholders, people in the community who have resources to add to next gen, because young people need to know that there is a place in the 21st century for them. We need you. We need your genius. We need your genius to show up and be present. That's what Georgia STEMCon. It's September 23rd at Georgia Tech at the Georgia Tech Research Institute's Conference Center. Information is at the website, atlantastemfoundation.org. We're looking for sponsors, speakers, presenters, and we're looking for young people, parents, teachers, administrators to come and be involved. We're looking for thought leaders, people that can add to the conversation, to be an answer to what these young people are looking for in the 21st century.
Well, you know, I thought it was so perfect that Elias is here today whenever you came, because he is looking to pursue a STEM career.
Oh, wow.
This is his senior year in high school. So this is young.
Wonderful, wonderful, perfect.
So did you have any questions for Dr. Karen?
Yeah, just how can the arts be related to STEM and what you see? You know, like
That's
different.
such a great question, Elliot. Thank you so much. Creativity is a integral component of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and in the scientific enterprise in general. Think about it. When the Wright brothers came up with the idea that a plane could fly, they had to have imagination. Using the laws of gravity, using the laws of lift, it had to have the intermingling of creativity on how this world, the physical world, the physical context that we operate under has to meet with imagination. So whether you are in music or you are in art, critical thinking is still the component, the foundation. But guess what? In the 21st century, publishing companies, computer technology companies need artists, need graphic designers, need writers, need critical thinkers in those content areas. What if a tech company had a computer game that needed to have music added to it, right? So you have music, art, and coding all in the same basket. So in the 21st century, your creativity is very much needed to answer some of those questions that we don't have the answers to.
That's awesome. So how can, again, tell them how they can register for this STEMCon.
Okay, so Georgia STEMCon is on September the 23rd, Saturday, at Georgia Tech. They can go to www.atlantastemfoundation.org and they can register there.
So what are some of the types of activities and things that are going to happen at STEMCon?
Well, I love new innovative ideas. So I want my young people to see the kinds of things that I see as a scientist on a regular, right? So I get to go all these really cool conferences, and I get to see like the cutting edge of the innovations and the research of what's next. So I want the innovation to be a very much prevalent component of the content. I want the speakers that we have to come and to share their ideas. I want parents to be able to ask questions to our thought leaders so they can say, okay, well, how can I get my child? What can I do as a parent for my 8-year-old? I know that I hear the word STEM a lot. I hear the word STEAM a lot. What does that mean to me? So answering questions, creating a platform where young people, parents, business leaders, and community organizers can come together and we have the same conversation. We're creating pathways, right, for innovation, ideation to meet implementation. And that's the theme of the conference.
That's what's up. I like that. Well, before you go, most recently, we've always heard STEM, but now we're hearing more about STEAM because they have included the art component. How important do you think that move was from STEM now to including art for STEAM?
Well, I can just say this. The American Association for the Advancement of Science created Project 2061, right? And this was in the early 90s. And they created some criteria for what it means to have a computer literate, scientifically advanced, technologically savvy society. Creativity is one of those components of a scientifically literate society. So we don't have to shut out the arts. We want to include the arts. But can I say that you need creativity to engage in the scientific method? Can I say that you need creativity to come up with an advancement that's going to take medicine to the next level? So you have to have interwoven in the scientific method, critical thinking and problem solving, you have to have a creative mind. Einstein was a genius, not only because he came up with the law of relativity, but because he was creative too.
I love that. I do. Well, tell our audience how they can follow you, how they can get up with you, if they want you to come and speak to their kids.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm on Instagram. I love Instagram. I thought I was like the last person on the planet to join the technologies movement, but I love Instagram. So I'm on Instagram, Dr. Karen H, DrKarenH. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, at Dr. Karen _STEM. And my website, thinkorstem.com. So my company, the consulting firm we go into schools and we use Think STEM technologies to advance teacher and administrative organizational protocols. Even businesses want help in learning how they can motivate their employees to add that critical thinking creative component. So you can contact me on Facebook, on Twitter, or on Instagram for sure, but also through my website. There's a contact page, Dr. Karen, or at thinkorstem.com by email, or you can go to my website, thinkorstem.com.
Awesome. Well, it's always glad to see you. It's always good to see you.
Thank you so much, Regina. I appreciate you allowing me to come and speak today.
Can you hang around to the end? You got
Absolutely.
a few minutes? Okay. Well, we're going to bring you back at the end and we'll bring all the guests in.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break and when we come back, the man is in the building. King Malachi is here, and I can't wait for you guys to see him. You're live with Regina Sunshine and Elias Reta here on the Regina Sunshine Show on Instinct Radio.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Download the app on Google Play, Instinct Radio, or go to instinctradio.net. And now, back to the hottest sounds around. Instinct Radio.
They got me in the yo, man. You know I couldn't stay silent for too long. Got my general here, shout out B.
Smalls and Stevie.
Dipping through the city in a dash 390. I don't wanna talk, put the phone on silent. Outline chalk, see these young boys dying. Instead of carrying books, they rather carry the iron. Daddy ain't around, so we gotta be the man. And if you wanna get down, then they gotta be the men. Dope boy syndrome, cash on demand. Get a rush from that feeling when that cash hit his hand. IG photos, guns on deck. He posed as a threat, so they coming for his neck. Was only 16 when they put him under arrest. Then he got the bad news about his grandmother's death. Tossing and turning, he ain't getting rest. And In the county now he got another 30 days left. I could relate to him, so I know how he felt. He didn't want to be a burden, so he kept it to himself. While talking to his mother, he could hear it in her tone. It's sad, almost like you see her tears through the phone. He mentioned to her how he had a fear coming home. Close friends disappeared, they was here, now they gone. Fall from a gangster, good head on his shoulder. This world's so cold and it's only getting colder. What's a boy to do when daddy ain't there to mold him? Alone in this war, so he forced to be a soldier. Now he ain't wanna die, but he felt death's sting. The heart of a lion, blood of a king. And sad cause he didn't live to see 18. Only if he knew that he was created for great things. I was upstairs chilling when I heard the phone ring. She said I got this feeling that they shot KB. So disturbed by the news, I'm thinking this can't be. Told my wife to pray, hoping I make it there safely. My heart racing as I speed through the streets. Pull up to the scene, all I seen was the sheets. Police, paramedics, and the news 4 jeeps. While he laid there stiff on that cold concrete. They shot him over nothing, that's the thing about death. It's hard to be prepared while taking your last breath. And his mama still crying cause see all she had left. And now she gotta live in this house by herself. But she ain't really tripping, see her hope is in the Lord. And everything happened for a purpose in the Lord. Satan threw me for a curve, but I'm focused in the Lord. It hurts, but I'm supposed to be there for support. But what am I to do? I want him alive too. I'm trying to hold a smile, but crying inside too. I wanna keep living, but dying inside too. See these babies getting killed, but we blind to the youth. And I can't help but daydream thoughts in my mind. What could have transpired if I had some more time? Whatever he did prior to the date of his demise. Don't define who he was, his heart was one of a kind. All he wanted was to shine. He didn't want the crime or the nines, but it came with the life intertwined. I read in the word by Christ many times on how he healed sick and gave sight to the blind, restored lifelines. Lives like mine with the untamed died, they labeled it suicide and swept it under the rug, buried like sewer lines. Terrified, cause what makes him different from you and I? And who do you believe in? When I say Jesus, is it just a name with a temporary meaning? Or do you catch chills from the thought of Christ bleeding and leaving? The spirit for those who still grieve, and I'm snapping only for those who see Christ. I'm in the studio, I was told to speak life. Salute Tracy Fant, the coldest, think twice. I done cried real tears, the coldest dark nights. I'ma fight for my freedom. Natural born leader, they leave us in the street leaking blood by the leader. And I done been shot, I can tell you how I feel. Had me running from the fire like I'm practicing a drill. Unfortunately it's real, it can be concealed with a license for the steal, and you still get killed. Who to blame? Ain't got nothing but love for you. It's hard to hate a man when Christ shed blood for you. And yeah, I understand the flesh get tugged on you, but that wasn't the plan that God drew up for you. You nervous, asking for license and registration. Hand on your gun, about to release the safety. He's stalling, now you wonder why he hesitating. You trained for this day, but it's nothing like what you're facing. From a simple question, it leads to an altercation. He black, so you might have developed a little hatred. I'ma pause on that statement, just so I can say this. Ain't insinuating that all cops are racist. Back to the situation, the cop know the man, and he know that ain't a pistol that he holding in his hand. But still he yelled gun for the sake of self-defense, and shot him a few times while his body got tense. And then it went limp, another brother gone. Another sad song for people to sing along. But if he knew Christ, then God prepared a home. That's the good news, ain't no suffering where he gone. But it's hard to move on when the family still mourn. Heart still broken, lives still torn. When God tried to tell us we ain't heed to his warning. How you rest good and don't thank him in the morning? Even the earth labor with pain, you hear it groaning. Waiting on the sons of God to transform me. So what we gon' do? Hate breeds crime and we dying. Everything derives from his kind. Every single day we put our life on the line. Rallying downtown, we marching with big signs. And it's us against them, we walking a thin line. The peace that's in Jesus, only a few find. And we battle with the system, only to lose time. It's been going on for years, but most of us too blind. What to do when the cause stacked against you? Give it to the Lord and don't let it defend you. They can't box God, cause he don't fit in the ring. I'm just here to let you know, you fit for a king.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
All right, you guys, you're back live on the air with Regina Sunshine and Elias Reta here on the People You Need to Know segment on the Regina Sunshine Show. And if you don't know who this is, you're missing out. I'm so excited to have somebody I highly respect and have great love for back to the show. Welcome, King Malachi.
Respect. How you doing?
I'm great. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you know, before you got here, I'd already mentioned to the audience how I met you. The very first time I ever went to the Apache here in Atlanta on a Sunday night Odell's on the stage,
Talk about it.
and he brings you up, and everybody goes nuts. And I'm like, who is it? And you begin to sing, and everybody knows the words. I mean, the entire place is like screaming the lyrics back to you. And I was like, this man owns Atlanta. That's how, I mean, and everywhere I've gone since then, when you've been in the building, it's been the exact same reaction. So not only do you show a lot of love for the people have a lot of love for you. And I love that, because you are one of the most reachable, touchable people that are in the position that you're in. And I love that. So remind our audience who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm King Malachi, originally from Orangeburg, South Carolina. I've been doing what I'm doing for like a light 25 years, you know what I'm saying? I've been moving around. My first record deal was with Sean Puffy Combs and Bad Boy. I was in a singing group called Finesse at the time. And I went to school with those guys, some of them elementary school, church, all of that. And, you know, we like the pioneers from where I'm from, as far as like the R&B, hip-hop, etc. Well, really R&B. But I used to be in a crew that pioneered hip-hop where I'm from. And I was the baby in the crew. Before I touched the mic, I was dancing first for a lot of different rap groups and stuff like that. I was that guy. You see what I'm saying? So I was kind of like a Puffy. Like, when you study the life of Sean Puffy Combs, he was dancing in videos and all of that stuff first and became a CEO. What made him a great CEO is because he pretty much did everybody's job at one point. Mm-hmm. He did promotions, he did administration, he produced, and this, you know, he just did it around the board. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm running my own business. I have Malachi Enterprises LLC, which I'm very, very excited about right now, and it's just futuristic right now. I'm here in the future. I've been futuristic back in the day, but I was a little ahead of my time from what people say. And I'm just glad now that technology is caught up. Well, not even technology, but the people. Like, when I was one of the first artists in the city who had my own website, you know, and like I was in the top of the Google search and everything. You know, my partner was writing code, etc. But at that time, thugs and hood dudes in the streets, they didn't have an email. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't even using the phones, and everything didn't step up to that level yet. So, you know, me and my partner broke up, and it was just like, it's crazy, because I would have been a millionaire already because we was ahead of the curve.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, just when everybody was really getting on their phones and using them and on the various social networks and all of that, it was just like, oh, we could have seized the moment and just capitalized. But it is what it is. It's crazy because at that time, I would never be on my social media. I just never would be on the computer like that. I was just always hands-on, performing, making the product, etc. But I wasn't a computer guy. But it was like our breakup, it enhanced me because I had to do the work. I had to do that work. And so it's just crazy. So like now I'm just elevated. I'm engineering now. This is the first time in my career I've had my own equipment. So for the past year, I've been engineering for myself, recording myself and others. And, you know, people really, really saying that I'm pretty decent.
Oh, you're more than that. You're amazing. Well, you know, during the break, you and Elias were having an opportunity to connect and talk, and I could tell that the conversation really sparked something inside of him. So I'm going to sit back a moment and allow him to have a conversation with you.
Let's get it.
Yeah, well, first let me drop my voice like you first.
You know what I mean?
So from what I've seen with music, Atlanta has kind of changed a little bit and like kind of really grown in this music industry. Like before, you know, it was West Coast, like LA, New York, and Chicago were like kind of the three big music, you know, places from what I know. But now, like Atlanta, you say Atlanta, it's like totally different from what it was 10 years ago. And I guess, how have you seen like kind of a growth of Atlanta in like the music industry, especially from what you were talking about? You're in R&B and hip hop. Like Atlanta is one of the major contenders on the East Coast, and like different opportunities, and they've always kind of been there. But I just see like a real growth in that. So I just want to know what you thought about that.
It's interesting from my perspective because you're a little younger than me, right? So it's crazy because I see I've recognized growth and I've seen a decline. I've seen growth in the aspect of opportunity, but I see a decline in from the R&B set. For sure, because it's like when I came on the scene, you had artists like Anthony David, India.Arie, etc., Donnie, and everybody was doing original music. And it's like now when you go to the R&B spots, they're like live bands. It's like a karaoke with a live band. And it's like, it's crazy because I recognize and seen how shows like American Idol changed the wave. So like on American Idol, it was such a powerful and strong medium. It was like if on American Idol they made people do original music as well, outside of just, you know, singing other people's records or whatever, it would have, you know, put that precedence in people's mind, like, you know, look for originality. I want to be original. I want to, you know, just bring something to the table they never heard before. Like if that was one of the things you had to have to win, it would have been a different game. But because that was the biggest platform at the time and all you did was mimic, it changed the general population into that thought process. So it's like now I love Atlanta for, you know, what made Atlanta grow to me is the fact that they have the movie aspect. It's not just music. And so it's like now, in a sense, when we in a time where everybody does music, you need other things attached to your music to make the music sexy, to make it attractive, to make it interesting. Other than that, people are just like, oh, another musician, you know what I mean? So it's like, it wasn't like that when I moved to Atlanta. When I first came to Atlanta, it was still special to be an artist. Now it's like I'm in a city full of brokers. Everybody's selling a home. So now my focus is to travel outside the country, etc., and go to where people still have strong admiration. And where admiration is, I can monetize.
And I've actually, I think it was just last week, I heard somebody say that exact thing. Like, trying to go overseas because from what was kind of less saturated Atlanta is becoming even more kind of saturated with music. So I have a lot of friends who make music, you know, produce different things, and that are in high school. Like, you know, I have someone that I talk to who's in 9th grade and like is going to, you know, be making competitions and stuff. And, you know, we all, and also I do as well, you know, we have talent, but a lot of them don't know, I guess, where to go with it or who to market it to, or maybe not know how to protect their craft, you know, because they're very talented. And so I guess advice to those who are in high school, college, or even younger than that and making music, like what should they do with it? What do they need to do in order to get maybe where they want to go?
I'm gonna share something which is very, very important, and this is really across the board with most businesses, period. It's all about the marketing. Everybody nowadays have a product, right? So it's like you don't want to just get caught making records in the studio and come out and just throw them up against the wall and hope they stick. Throwing them up against the wall would be like just upload it on YouTube, etc. You feel me? It's about marketing. It's about product placement. It's about knowing how to get in touch with these bloggers. It's about just really knowing how to use the internet to put you in an international space where you could go around the world and get this money.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And like really talk about how like protecting your music, because a lot of, you know, people are trying to market their music like they said, or like you said, but sometimes don't go about it in the best way and find their stuff getting stolen or tainted. And in trying to promote their craft, like what's the best way to keep your music protected while at the same time putting it out there?
Well, all you can do is get it copywritten, etc., right? But we live in a pirating generation. No beats are safe. You put anything on YouTube, we can snatch it down, we can take it. So it's just like, really, people, you just got to get out there and have heart and don't care for real. You just got to get out there and keep putting out your music and put yourself in a space to be noticed. And guess what? You're going to have to give a lot nowadays more for free. And like, I remember me and my group, we never really used to want to let people hear certain things because we were afraid people were going to take our music. We were afraid people was going to steal the music, where we really were holding ourselves back. Get it protected. If somebody steal it, good. You can sue. So never be afraid of them stealing the music or whatever. Just get out there, get noticed, and getting yourself in a position to be able to gather a check.
That's what's up.
That's the hardest part. The hardest part in the game is to get somebody to purchase. Everybody got music. Who's buying? Do you have one song these people know and that they're buying? That's the lick. It's a lot of music you hear on the radio, right? How many really just move you to go and purchase?
Right.
Why does Kendrick Lamar sell records? Why does Young Thug really not sell records? But he's popular. What's the difference?
From what I know, well, that music has a purpose, or Kendrick Lamar has a message to his music.
Mm-hmm.
From what I know, To Pimp a Butterfly is probably one of my top 3 albums ever, just for me. But I can listen to Kendrick Lamar's album 50 years from now and still get a message from it, whereas I might not be able to do that with, Young Thug.
Well, when you say message, be specific. You're saying a positive message that can help your life, just message. All of them have messages.
Yeah.
Let me share something with you. You know why Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole sells versus the Uzi Verts, etc., who are popular? Because the music that they make, it's viewed as art on the wall. It's something that anybody can't make. We don't buy Young Thug, etc. When I say we, I'm talking about the general public. We'll go see it because we entertain, we love the energy. So at a party, we gonna turn up and do all that. But purchase is something different. You purchase something that you value. You purchase something you feel you can't make. If I can fix my own car, I'm not going to pay somebody to fix it. Feel me? So dudes who make millions. So you want to go in the studio and put the extra detail and thought into the product. You want to present a product that people feel like, dang, that's kind of special. I don't think I could have did that. Because when they feel like that, that's what make them purchase. If I think about it, I remember one time my ex-wife said when she started doing poetry, she said that when she got good at it, she stopped kind of liking certain people a certain way. You know why? Because she does it too. Now we're in a position, in a generation in time where everybody in America, we everybody's a superstar, social media. That at least that's the vision. You feel me? But it's like we're in a generation and a time where like everybody just feels like we'll lift up mediocrity and slap greatness in the face. See what I'm saying? See, before we lived in a time where the average person wasn't striving to be way above and beyond, right? So when those little bit of people who wanted to be way above and beyond, we would hold them up. We'd be like, look at them, he doing it. Look, they that. Okay, we hold them like pillars in the community. We hold them and we take them there. Now it's like people hold their hand from it. And once you position yourself and get there, then everybody come running. So it's like, it's a sad time. That's why I said it's a beautiful time, it is a beautiful space, and it's kind of sad at the same time. It's kind of like our people, say like we were so-called set free or whatever. No. Let's go here. Let's take it back to like the 1960s, right? It's sort of like we're in a better position, but we don't have anything. All we gained was gadgets. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we lost the love, the integrity for one another, which was everything. I'd rather have a little bit of money and be in a community where the love is powerful, right? So that's what I'm saying. That's why artists have a problem in America, because we've lost the admiration because everybody's an artist. Or you feel like, oh, my uncle do that. Oh, my sister do that. Oh, whoa. So if you're out there and you're making this product, like say, I'll give you a small example. Say you can't leave America for whatever strange reason, right? If I'm making trap music, you know where I'm going to go sell that trap music at? I'm going to Vermont. I'm going to Utah. I'm going to where they don't see black people for real. That's where the money at. That's where you're going to go and they're going to be in awe of you. Because you look like the guys on TV who rap. But in Atlanta, everybody look like Future. Everybody look like Thug. Everybody got 30 chains on. So you're normal here. It take too much to stand out. It take too much to rise above and beyond. The only way to really, really rise above and beyond in places like this in New York is that real check. Like, you go to New York when New York was at the height of its, musical power and so forth. Man, everybody cousin is a celebrity. Everybody's this. I used to live in New York, so I know what I'm talking about, right? The only way you're going to be seen, bro, you got to be on 25th on a billboard. You got to be on 42nd Street on a big billboard where you see Puff Daddy or something. They be like, oh, he's for real. Oh, you see Jay-Z up there. Oh, he for real. Everybody else, we don't see you. And that's kind of Atlanta. It's like you can see the illest saxophone player in the world at Cat's Cafe for free. You can't go where I'm from and do that. You can't go anywhere. It's like we just spoiled here. It's
I agree.
It's not oversaturated. It's super saturated. Like, this is the worst time to be an artist in Atlanta. Like, I don't even want to ever tell a female I'm an artist. I'd rather tell I'm the garbage man or something. Like, something normal. Because everybody over the top. Like, when everybody going this way, I got to kind of go this way. You feel me? Because that's just how I am. You feel me? But it's like, man, I'd rather tell a chick, I'm the post office guy or something. Before a rapper. Like, don't tell her that. Tell her anything else, like, anything else. That's true about yourself. Like, don't bring up the artistry in Atlanta. It's sad here. But continue.
Well, this has been beautiful, you guys having this conversation, because I think it's needed because of what's happening in this city. And I've heard other people say the exact same thing, that I'm done here. I'm going international. I'm going places where I stand out. And it's not 10 of me right down the block doing the exact same thing. And I know we got to wrap up, but you were in a movie recently that was recently released. You want to tell us about that?
Well, I'm excited. I'm happy to be in the Tupac movie. This is my first movie, and the Most High put me in a situation where I got in the Pac movie. I didn't have a speaking role, but the guy I was in a fight scene with in the Pac movie. Let me show you Destiny. He was starring in another movie, and he got me in that movie. In that movie, I got a speaking role. I've never done this in my life. I've never went to audition. This is the almighty moving. After that, I got in a stage play. It's just moving, bro. Soon as this movie came out, and I don't even have a speaking role. I'm just showing you how the almighty energy is moving. Soon as that came out, that day I got a call to do something for this new movie they doing for Marvin Gaye. So it's like,
I can definitely see you in that.
This is when you know it's destiny. I'm not even passionate about acting. I don't even care about acting. I love music. But it's just so happened, acting is opening up a door. A mighty door. It's building interest for my career. So I'm just thankful, man. There's a lot of people out here talking about the Tupac movie and saying this and saying that. I'm going to tell you like this. I'm forever thankful. I'm forever grateful. That movie ain't did nothing but position me. And it's all about a hustler taking a crack in the door and prying it the rest of the way open and knock it. Not even prying it over. You see a crack, a real hustler, you hear me, a person of true ambition, gonna see that little crack and kick the door open. Yes. I ain't waiting for nothing. I ain't waiting on nobody. I go hard. I roll my sleeves up. I get in the mud and I do it. I do it, bro. Like, period. I do it. Like,
that's King Malachi.
I don't even like to talk about myself, but anybody who know me in Atlanta, Georgia, you know what I'm saying? They know I've been setting bars for years. I don't talk about it. I'm not one of the artists in Atlanta posing on Instagram playing. I do it for real. I for years, I've performed for 4 times a week. Sometimes 4 or 5 shows in a day, starting in the morning, ending up 12 at night, 2 in the morning. Like, that's what I do, bro. They call me James Brown Jr. for real. And I didn't say that. That's people like Rico Wade from Organized Noise, etc. I'm humble for being here. I've lost a lot to be here. Let me say that. I've lost a lot to be here. And I'm still not where I want to be. Feel me? So just get prepared to lose a whole lot. Sacrifice. Roll your sleeves up and get to it. And just have that spirit about you not to ever give up. forever. And I be talking that noise. I ain't never giving up. But it be some days I get up and fuck music, man. You know what I mean? Like, man, you know what I mean? Because the hatred, the envy, the lack of integrity, the people not doing what they say they're gonna do. It's hard to put teams together. It's just hard to make this music really, really do what it's supposed to do because everybody does it. So you have to think ahead of the curve. You have to really literally step back and look for angles. Look for that angle everybody's not on. I look at the success like this. Success is inside this house. The typical thought is what? How you gonna get in this house? What's the typical thought?
Well, it's all about strategy. Like,
But what's the typical thought? We trying to get in the house. What's the first thought?
Cost.
What?
Cost.
Cost? No. I'm talking about literally trying to get. This is a house we're striving to get inside this building. Inside this building is success. What's the first thought of how we gonna get in this building? On average, what's the first thought? If you don't know, I'll tell you.
I don't know.
The front door. What's the next thought?
A window.
Back door.
Back door, okay.
Then the window. Then after you get past regular thoughts, you have to be non-conventional. You got to come through the socket. You got to come through the chandelier. You got to come through the chimney. That's the way, if you're going to do this music for real, you got to be a chimney dude. You got to be coming through the socket kind of guy. And if you're not, you're going to waste a lot of time because life is like the club. You go to the club, you got the VIP line, you got the regular line, right? Everybody's in that regular line. If you want to skip up and get in this club, right? The fastest way to get in there is what? You got to know somebody or have that extra money. Ain't that the truth? So that's all about that network, who you know, or have that money to cut the line. Ain't nothing else. If you think it's going to be anything else, you fooling yourself. You out there in that line with the typical thought, that's where you're going to be out there waiting forever and possibly never get inside this house.
That's what's up.
And right now, I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm in purgatory. I got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And what I'm doing right now is busting my behind to drag the other foot or both feet into success. That's me.
Well, we got to begin to wrap up. I know you got some new music, and you actually have something that Jack's going to play while we go to break. Will you talk to us about the new music and introduce the song he's going to play?
The song he's about to play is called Tupac Status. It's from the new All Eyes on Me movie mixtape, and it's featuring my partner, Zaid Malik, representing Outlaw RBG. We put a lot of time and energy into this project. Took us about 4 months of night and day, around the clock, early morning, super late nights, around the clock, getting this product together. This is one of the first singles. The video about to be coming soon in about another 2 weeks.
Awesome. Well, we're going to go to break, and Jack, roll that song.
Let go.
Biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
King Malachi.
Go boys are too much.
Zaid, what up? I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. All eyes on me. Yeah. I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. All eyes on me. 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 I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. All eyes on me. Keep dreaming till it all manifests. Keep pushing till it ain't nothing left. Keep dreaming till it all manifests. Keep pushing till it ain't nothing left. Pull up on a broad in the drop top. They ain't just any other drop top. Double R on the hood, number more. Dog wanna hop off. Try to be like Tupac. I wanna star in the movie. Wanna be like Tupac. Kissing no Janet Jackson in the movie.
I used to want a death row chain. Get famous, I'ma change my name. Like Park in the 6 with a top back. Hit the gas and I switch my lanes. About to tie a rag on my forehead. Get don't gain pain. Nigga, the symbol of an outlaw. Get famous, I'ma change my name.
tattoos on my back. I was really trying to be Machiavelli. I found my own way. Still I get credit to Machiavelli for the road pay. Yeah, that's foundation. Take it to a whole nother level. Say the cream rise to the top. First place diced out gold medal. I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. All eyes on me. I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. All eyes on me. 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 I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. All eyes on me. Keep dreaming till it all manifests, yeah. Keep pushing till it ain't nothing left, yeah. Keep dreaming till it all manifests. Keep pushing till it ain't nothing left. Hit the corner store, get a wife beat. Little homies wanna be like me. Got an outlaw tat like Pop. Anyone got one like me. It's in modern day thug life. Late night living that club life. Talk about your spot and make a movie. Man, we really in a big screen movie. 40 million for the budget. Haters gotta love it, noble, press the button. We gon' turn a little something, something into something. In the studio, whip to the song, lock up. I go in into pop, pop, up. I go hard till my name pop up. In the barber shop, I'm who they talk about. Yeah, I want a Tupac status. Label as God when I'm rapping. Walk in, get choked by the batter. Something like a whole nother planet. She never got flipped by a real nigga. Beat it up and make the bed go bang. Round, listening to Machiavelli. Get famous, I'ma change my name. I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. I wanna be Tupac status. All eyes on me. I wanna be Tupac status.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuning in to the very best. It's yours truly, Jazzy Fizzle, Fizzle, Fizzle. And this is In-State Radio, man. Tune in, baby. Oh, boy.
All right, you guys, you're back live with Regina Sunshine and my guest co-host, Elias Reta, here on the Regina Sunshine Show. And as always, divine connections are happening behind the scenes. I always love this part of the show when people meet that I know are supposed to meet and get together and go do some great things in the community. But I want to thank all of you for being here, for sharing your passions, your energy. It's been an amazing show. And before we go, I want each of you, to our listeners, to the people that are out there who are in the hunt for whatever that dream is, for whatever that happiness, that purpose that they're seeking, your word of encouragement for them to keep going. And I'll start with Brandy
Hunt. Isn't that ironic?
Brandy Hunt.
I would say follow what's in you, because what's in you cannot lie.
Sounds good. And remind them how they can follow you.
Brandy the Author Hunt on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, 864-305-6518, or my email is publish, publishu00@gmail.com.
Awesome. Dr. Karen Hypolite.
I want to say two things. One, you have to believe. The core of everything that moves on the planet, Providence allows, like you're talking that the eternal spirit, it comes through what you believe. All things are possible to them that believe, but it's whatever you believe. That is what's possible for you. You are put on this planet right now for such a time as this to bring your genius. We want your thoughts, your ideas, your creativity to add to the conversation. Like you were talking about earlier, your genius could be music, but let's bring it to the graphic design. Let's bring it to gaming. Let's bring it to the writing industry. There's so many opportunities that the 21st century is looking for, and we need you to show up and show your genius. So contact me. I'm Dr. Karen, STEM.
Sounds good. King Malachi.
I would like to encourage you all to speak power. I make my living with words. I see and I understand, overstand the power of words. Things I recognize it in my own life. You know, if you're going to be a millionaire, you might not be a millionaire yet. Say you are a millionaire. Mm-hmm. Say you are a billionaire. Yeah. Say you're a trillionaire. We ain't scared of that either. We are not scared of that. We are here fully charged up with the power of the Almighty in our chest, and we just going to take off and keep taking off. Yes. We're going to keep exploding. I'm going to tell you a secret. You can't do it without excitement.
Yes.
It's a thing called excitement that you need in your life, and that excitement will propel you even when you don't feel like going.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. When you think you can't go.
I mean, we should run around the building now, right?
Yes, yes.
Remind them how they can follow you.
Definitely. You can follow me at The King Malachi. That's TheKingMalachi on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, we thank you guys so much for being here. To my guest co-host, Young Boss Honoree. Y'all give him a hand. First time co-hosting.
Good job.
So, any parting words, final words from you today?
Stay focused, because you can have a lot of goals, you can have a lot of dreams, but there's so many distractions for every one of those goals. And so what I've been finding is just you need to stay focused with everything you do.
And that's from a 16-year-old, you guys. That's what's up. That's what's up. So I'm glad, especially for you, Elias, to have been in this space to meet these three amazing people. And Mama, for being here. Thank you for supporting this young man, because I know it takes a lot of effort from the parents to make sure these kids are doing the things that they need to do. But I'm so thankful again that you were able to meet them, because I'm sure they imparted into your life, and you didn't expect that. And I always say that on my show, I think I get more than the guests do, because I'm constantly receiving from you guys, and it empowers me to go and do the things that I need to do. So I thank you guys so much for sharing your hearts with us. To my audience, we thank you for tuning in. I leave you with the words I always leave you with. Remember this: God loves you just the way you are. You are beautiful because you were created in love. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You have the seeds of greatness within you. You were born to live a victorious life. You are brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. You are worthy of the best things in life. Make sure you guys tune in next week. It'll be another edition of our Black Female Excellence Show. We're going to have some dope females here talking about all the amazing things that they're doing in their lives and in the community. And again, final words. My personal motto, I always say it's not over till I win. If I hadn't won yet, that just means it's not over. So I tell you today, it's not over till you win. If you hadn't won yet, baby, that just means it's not over. Be blessed and keep winning. We're out.
Instinct Radio, it feels good to be here. It's your boy Shout L.O. K.O.P. Right now, we're in Atlanta, Georgia. Instinct Radio. You ain't here, you ain't nowhere. So let's get it.